Hi, everyone, and welcome to English for You. I'm Erin.
And I'm Mike.
And we are talking about an interesting thing that if you ever visit Turkey, you might see.
Oh, or Greece, too, sort of, somewhat, kind of. But more in Turkey. You're right.
They're more of a Turkish thing.
Sure.
They're called nazar beads, and they're everywhere in Turkey. Have you ever been to Turkey?
I have not, but it's been one of my dream holidays for a very, very long time.
Okay.
I just have to stop talking to you guys and doing this job so I get some time off.
Oh,
but no, soon. That's definitely. I don't like to use this. It's on my bucket list.
It's on your. Is it in your top 5 places to go?
Yeah. But it's somewhere where I really want to go for a while, and it's hard to get that much time off.
Right.
I want to go and collect nazar beads.
And you might need to do that for more than just a week.
I'll have to go there for months. Well, actually, if you really were collecting nazar beads, you might go there for months because these things have been around for a long time, and from what I understand, they're everywhere in Turkey.
And that's what we're going to find out in today's articles.
Interesting.
So why don't we get started?
Reading. An eye for an eye. Turkey's magical blue beads. Visit Turkey, and you can't help but feel like something is watching you. You go. Thousands of bright blue eyes stare out from trees, coffee cups, and babies' clothes. These aren't real eyes, though. They're nazar beads, powerful glass ornaments that people bad luck. Nazar beads take their name from the Arabic word for look. For centuries, they were believed to be people's only defense against an ancient curse, the evil eye. This terrible spell could be cast with a single look. Worse still, it was believed to everything from bad luck to sudden death. Traditionally, Turkish people believe that the nazar beads' design stopped this from happening. They are painted blue, the color of good luck, so that they can absorb the evil eyes. Energy. What's more, a bead would only ever break if it saved its owner from a very strong curse. Not everyone believes in this magic today. For those who do, there's no greater rule than an eye for an eye.
All right, so our article starts out today to kind of give us an introduction on what we talked about in the introduction, I guess. So it says here, visit Turkey, and you can't help but feel like something is watching you. Now, of course, Turkey is a country. It's not the big wild bird or the farmed bird that we eat at Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's the country, and it's sort of a country on one end that's in Europe and the other end that's in Asia.
True. Yeah, it's kind of covers both continents. It's been a very important place through much of human history, and it's, of course, a very interesting place to visit these days. But you might not want to visit if you feel like something is watching you all the time, or if you can't help but feel. We use that can't help but when it's sort of like this is how you will react, or this is the feeling you'll have even if you don't really want to, even if you're trying not to. So you might be trying to be relaxed and happy there, but you might always feel like something is watching you. But don't worry, we're not talking about spies or strange people or security cameras or anything like that. Let's find out more. It says, wherever you go, thousands of bright blue eyes stare out from trees, coffee cups, and babies' clothes.
What?
Not the babies. Their clothes are staring at you. The coffee cups have blue eyes. The trees have these bright blue eyes that are staring at you.
Okay.
This is now actually more frightening than if it's just security cameras.
Yeah.
Because if there are coffee cups that look at people and watch them, that's like a nightmare.
Sounds like some sort of science fiction
It does,
movie.
like a horror film or something. But let's talk about this word stare, first of all. It's one of our vocab words. Stare is spelled S-T-A-R-E. Yeah, it's a verb, as I mentioned. It's basically to look at someone with a lot of intensity, very intently. You're really looking at them. You're trying to observe something or see something. It's not the politest thing to do, but you might do it, you can do it in a non-polite way when there's something really important happening. Like maybe there was an accident, or maybe you hear an alarm bell from a bank or something, and you're across the street, and you might look there, and you're looking really carefully. You really are trying to notice something with your eyes. So in a case like an emergency or something, yes, staring would be very normal and natural and not bad. But if you're staring at people just because they look funny or something like that, they're dressed strangely or they're behaving strangely, that is considered to be rude in many parts of the world. So try not to stare at people. For example, we could say, yes, it's not polite to stare at people.
But it says here in the article, these aren't real eyes, though. So they're not actual eyes from that of an animal or a person. They're just like a drawing of an eye or an image of an eye.
Very, very interesting. Yes, and let's find out about these fake eyes. It says, they're Nazar beads, powerful glass ornaments that protect people from bad luck. Okay, so these are things. They're not real eyes. They're just objects, not living things.
Right.
They're beads, in fact, and bead is another vocab word, B-E-A-D. This is a noun. A bead is a small ornament or a small decorative thing that we often use to make jewelry.
Yeah.
A lot of jewelry can be made with expensive things, of course, like pearls or diamonds or rubies, but cheaper jewelry, and just as nice, can be made with beads. Now, beads are small, they're round often, they often have a hole, or they usually have a hole in the middle, and they can be made of anything from glass to wood to ceramic to plastic, all sorts of stuff. And basically, you get a small piece of thread, a small string, and you put a lot of these beads on the string through the little hole, and then you create a necklace or a bracelet or something like that. So beads are what is used to make up a necklace, bracelet, or other piece of jewelry. But as I mentioned, they're not usually precious. It's not usually like an expensive, valuable stone. Usually it's something fairly cheap like wood, plastic, or glass. For example, this bracelet has many little beads made of glass. I bet a lot of people listening used beads to make bracelets and stuff when they were kids in art class.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Mike, you also explained the word bead is a small ornament. So an ornament, we should talk about that. An ornament is something that you use for decoration to make something look nice, or something that you like to look at to just make it a little bit prettier or nicer, I guess. Now, when we decorate a Christmas tree, we decorate it with ornaments. For example, you might have like an angel ornament or some red and green ornaments to match the tree. But you can also use the word ornament as a verb. You can ornament something. So when you use it as a verb, it's similar to saying that you're decorating something. You're making something look nicer.
All right, so let's find out where the name comes from. Nazar beads take their name from the Arabic word for look. So there you go. Not only are you learning English today, we're throwing in some Arabic for free.
Okay. All right. Well, that makes sense. The Arabic word for look, and you have a blue eye. That makes sense. Look and eye.
So they're look beads.
That's right. All right. So we said that these beads protect people from bad luck. So let's find out a little bit more about that. It says here in the article, for centuries, they were believed to be people's only defense against an ancient curse, the evil eye.
Ah, okay. That's what made me think of Greece, because I know they also have that idea of the evil eye, this ancient curse. And there, I believe they always paint eyes on the front of their boats.
Maybe,
Fishermen often paint those to protect themselves from, bad luck when they're out on the ocean.
To use as a defense.
Yeah.
So what is a defense? Here, it's something that you can use to protect yourself from harm, danger, or attack. Now, Turkish people believe that these beads protect them from harm that would come from the evil eye, this curse. Now, we can think about superheroes to kind of think about some ideas of defenses. For instance, Wonder Woman has those bracelets that she wears. They help her keep bullets and other things from hitting her.
Bulletproof bracelets.
These gloves, we could say that they are a defense. Now, of course, if you think about Iron Man, the whole suit he wears, what makes him Iron Man, is another good example of a defense. It helps keep him safe.
Absolutely. And we also had the word ancient. We're talking about an ancient curse. Something ancient, this adjective, it just basically means very old, okay? I was told long ago, ancient is anything more than 1,000 years old.
Okay.
And I'd say, oh, yeah, all right. We often talk about, the ancient pyramids or ancient Greek gods or something like that. You wouldn't want to say, something that's just 50 or 100 years. The Beatles are not an ancient rock and roll band.
I hope not.
They're an old rock and roll band or something like that. So ancient is just really, really really old. Here's a good example. There are many ancient Roman ruins in North Africa. Sure, things from the Roman times, that would definitely be ancient.
Yes. All right, so what did we use the word ancient to describe?
A curse.
A curse. So a curse is basically a type of magic that someone does. And to make a curse or to kind of put a curse on someone, I guess, you would maybe say some special words or kind of make a certain potion that another person would sort of drink or something like that.
That's how I usually do it.
Yeah. Okay.
When I'm cursing people.
Well, basically, it's sort of like a type of magic. So when you think about this curse, the evil eye would basically be doing something to harm you in some way. So it's kind of like making... It's not doing good magic.
No.
That's the thing. A curse is doing bad magic.
Yeah, definitely. And you can also use it, as I did, as a verb. To curse someone is sort of to wish bad things on them. Now, of course, most of us are just wishing, but in the stories, if you insult a witch or something, she might curse the beautiful girl makes fun of the witch, and then the witch curses the beautiful girl and her hair falls out or something like that, So it's often only found in storybooks. Thankfully.
Yes.
Anyways, we also had the word evil. Yeah, well, you almost don't have to say an evil curse because I've never really heard of a good curse, but we often do say an evil curse just to make you more aware how dangerous and bad it is because evil, this adjective, is dangerous and bad in a really big kind of way. Evil, E-V-I-L. It's an adjective, as I mentioned, and something that's evil is really not good in any way, all right? So we're not talking about something that might be dangerous. Like, you'd never really say the shark is evil. No, it might be dangerous, and you definitely want to stay away, but it doesn't have bad feelings in its heart.
Right.
It's not trying to hurt you, okay?
Well, if you think of maybe Harry Potter, and you think of...
He's not evil. What do you say?
Voldemort.
Oh, he's evil.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, is he ever. And all of his gang of followers, they're all evil. Yeah, they're bad, they're mean, they like doing terrible things to people. They don't seem to care, and you would never think that they're nice in any kind of way. So they're not just bad or naughty or nasty, they're evil. For example, the bad guy had an evil look in his eyes as he approached the hero.
Ooh.
Yeah, most bad guys are evil, and definitely you want to stay away from those guys too. So what do we do? What can we do to stop ourselves from these evil eyes? It sounds pretty dangerous.
Well, we're not quite there yet.
Okay.
We have more to describe this terrible curse with. It says here, this terrible spell could be cast with a single look.
Whoa.
Now, the evil eye here, of course, is a curse. That's how we described it. We could also just call it a spell. Spell here is just another word for curse. So again, it's a type of magic that you can do. Spell could talk about good magic or bad magic, but it could go either way. But when you cast a spell, you're sort of making that magic happen. Sort of thing. So when we watch Harry Potter and other kind of movies with witches and wizards like that, when they sort of wave their wand around and say some magic words, what they're doing is they're casting a spell. They're making something magic happen. So that's what we're saying here. So the evil eye, it just takes one single look to sort of give you all this harm and danger for the rest of your life.
Good Lord, I really need to get some Nazar beads. And then here's something even more terrible about the evil eye curse. It says, worse still, it was believed to cause everything from bad luck to sudden death.
Ooh.
This is a powerful curse. So it will cause everything from one thing to another thing. Usually that's one not so terrible thing to something really terrible. So from bad luck means you might, I don't know, spill your coffee on your new shirt to sudden death, you'll just drop dead for no reason. That's kind of Voldemort level evil curse though.
Yeah.
I don't think Hermione could do that to you.
No.
She wouldn't. No. Anyway, so yeah, we also had this phrase, worse still. So we just, the sentence that Aaron read there, this terrible spell could be cast with a single look. That's bad, right? You can curse someone just by looking at them. And then here's something even more bad. So that's why we begin this next sentence with worse still, all right? So we use this comparative adjective of worse, saying this is more bad. And this is also true. So not only is it more bad, it's also true. It also follows that the terrible spell is cast with a single look.
Okay, so now we get to the Nazar beads. Okay, so we're done with all of the terrible things with the evil eye.
We know there's danger out there. How do we protect ourselves?
Well, it says here in the article, traditionally, Turkish people believed that the Nazar beads design stopped this from happening. All right, so of course, we're talking about the country Turkey here. When you talk about people from a certain country, we usually give them an adjective, or we call it a demonym sort of thing in English. Here, people from Turkey, we call them Turkish. Just like people from Taiwan, we would say Taiwanese.
That's right.
Or people from Canada, we call Canadians.
We do. That's absolutely right. So Turkish people from Turkey, believe that the design of the beads stops this from happening, stops the curse. Let's look at the design. We'll describe it to you here. It says they are painted blue, the color of good luck, so that they can absorb the evil eye's dangerous energy.
Interesting.
Okay. So, yes, blue in Turkey is the color of luck. I guess if these beads were from Taiwan, they might be, what, red? Red is
Something
considered
or gold.
Or gold, a lucky color here. But in Turkey, it's blue, all right? And that blue is, of course, a good luck color. But here's another good thing about having blue beads. They can absorb the evil eye's dangerous energy. To absorb is kind of to take something in, the way a towel absorbs water. Or something like that. It kind of sucks it in and traps it and keeps it there, safe and away from other places. And in this case, we're trying to absorb energy.
That's right. Okay, so energy we often think about in terms of the power that makes all of our electronics work, right?
Electricity is energy.
Yeah, like that. But here, energy is a little bit different.
Okay.
It's kind of like a special power that people believe they can feel inside them, or maybe inside of a building or an object. Here is kind of like we're saying that this object, this bead, has this sort of special power inside of it. Here's an example sentence. I sense a bad energy in this old house. I think we should leave now.
Oh, it's okay. I have Nazar beads.
Okay.
All over. Yeah, I'm wearing them everywhere. And what's more, here's another good thing about the Nazar beads. What's more, a bead would only ever break if it saved its owner from a very strong curse. Interesting. So all of your beads will be fine. None of them will break off the bracelet or the necklace or something. But if they do break, that's because they did their job. They have actually stopped some of this bad energy. They have saved the owner, saved you if you're wearing them, from a very strong curse. So there you go. If you break one, that's a good sign. Okay, we had that phrase, what's more. This is also kind of like worse still, but we're not comparing things. We're not saying something is good or bad. We're just saying these two things are related. They're both true at the same time. All right. So it could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing, but there is a relationship and they probably happened at the same time, or they're true at the same time, or something like that.
That's right. All right. So if you have a Nazar bead of your own.
I don't, but I want some.
Well, if you did, we could call you an owner.
Oh, yeah, you could.
Yeah. Now we have the word own. When you own something, that thing is yours. And a person who owns something, we add the letters ER to the end of that word to make owner. And An owner is basically someone who owns or has something that is theirs. So, for example, if you own a bicycle, that bicycle is yours, not any other person's. So you are the bicycle's owner. Okay, so it's not your friend's bicycle. It's not a you bike. It's not the city's bicycle. It's yours. Here's another example. Guess what? I'm the owner of a brand new car.
That's exciting. So you didn't borrow it. You're not renting it. You bought it. It's yours.
That's right.
That's fantastic. Can I get a ride to the airport?
No.
Oh, man, my Nazar beads didn't work. But anyways, so don't worry about this too much. I don't have any. I imagine most of you out there don't have any, unless maybe you've been to Turkey. But here's a good bit of news. Not everyone believes in this magic today.
Of course.
Yes, it's true. A lot of these old superstitions are still very interesting, but a lot of them are sort of history. They're ancient. We know a lot more about science and how the world really works, so we don't need these magic things to protect us from, bad spells and curses.
Right.
But it's never a bad idea to be safe.
And that's why here we end our article by saying, however, for those who do, that means for those who do believe in this magic, there's no greater rule than an eye for an eye. All right, now what do we mean by that last phrase there? An eye for an eye? That is actually today's pocket phrase go. So we're going to finish off today's article by learning about that, and we'll be back again in a minute for our For You chat.
Pocket phrase go!
可恶的甲方竟然敢骗我阿拉丁，把我骗到这个危险的山洞里，我差点以为呢我就要死在这个山洞里了。可恶，我一定呢要以眼还眼，以牙还牙，用神灯的力量让他尝到复仇的滋味。哈哈哈！要表示复仇哦，让对方尝到相同的滋味，我们中文呢就说以眼还眼，以牙还牙。哎，真巧啊，英文里面呢也是一样的说法咯。我们呢就可以说 an eye for an eye， 或者是呢 a tooth for a tooth， 用一颗眼睛换一颗眼睛，或者是一颗牙齿换一颗牙齿，就跟呢我们中文的说法一模一样，而且意思也一样哦。所以呢，要报仇的时候 an eye for an eye， 或者是呢 a tooth for a tooth， 以眼还眼，以牙还牙，赶快记起来咯。
For You Chat.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to For You Chat. Our question today, now that you've listened to the eye for an eye explanation, our question is, what do you think of an eye for an eye? Is it right to treat people this way?
Interesting. Well, this phrase, I think, comes from the Bible.
It does.
Right? An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. And this was the old way they used to sort of find justice. Before they had police and courts and judges and lawyers, it was simple. If I poked you in the eye and caused you to be blind, you would poke me in the eye. If I stole one of your cows, you would take one of my cows back. And, back in the old days,
that's how it
in
worked.
ancient times, that's how it worked, and that was a basic way to keep things fair and to keep people living in peace. But these days, we know that the world isn't that simple.
Right.
Sometimes that isn't the right way to find justice. Sometimes and oftentimes, the story is a lot more complicated than that.
Right.
So, and also blinding someone because they caused an accident would be kind of cruel and mean and horrible, and who's gonna do that too? I don't want to be the chief blinder.
No, me neither.
That'd be a terrible job.
Yeah.
Sorry, I gotta poke your eye out. That's just what I gotta do.
You poked somebody else's eye out,
Right.
So now I have to poke yours out.
Or imagine if someone, even worse, someone had killed one of your loved ones, and they're like, all right, here's a sword, now you can go and kill someone from his family. That would be terrible.
Yeah, that's definitely not the way we should be doing these things.
I think we've learned since then.
Even now, when we think about just being in school, if one person started a fight and then we thought that it was okay for you to go start a fight with someone. That's really not the way things work anymore.
No.
We should be talking about issues and sort of trying to work them out in ways that aren't really violent or hurting other
More
people.
Peaceful, civilized ways.
Yeah. All right. Well, what do you guys think? You guys can talk about this question. We have to say goodbye for today, so we'll see you again next time. For English for You, I'm Erin.
And I'm Mike.
Bye-bye.
An eye for an eye. Turkey's magical blue beads. Visit Turkey, and you can't help but feel like something is watching you. Wherever you go, thousands of bright blue eyes stare out from trees, coffee cups, and babies' clothes. These aren't real eyes, though. They're nazar beads, powerful glass ornaments that protect people from bad luck. Nazar beads take their name from the Arabic word for look. For centuries, they were believed to be people's only defense against an ancient curse, the evil eye. This terrible spell could be cast with a single look. Worse still, it was believed to cause everything from bad luck to sudden death. Traditionally, Turkish people believed that the nazar beads' design stopped this from happening. They are painted blue, the color of good luck, so that they can absorb the evil eye's dangerous energy. What's more, a bead would only ever break if it saved its owner from a very strong curse. Not everyone believes in this magic today. However, for those who do, there's no greater rule than an eye for an eye.
Vocabulary Review. Stare. Don't stare at the sun. You'll hurt your eyes. Bead. That necklace is so pretty. I love the colors of all the different glass beads. Ancient. People have been living in this ancient city for thousands of years. Evil. Locals believe that an evil, child-eating monster lives in these woods. Energy. Amy collects magic charms because she believes they will fill her house with positive energy. Owner. I found this phone on the ground outside, so I'm going to look for its owner.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net